After installation, we can use it to solve some problems. For example, let's say we have a really simple problem. We have several paragraphs, right? And now we need to change each of the paragraph's content to its order number. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. But the process shouldn't be manual. We should write code to do it, right? Okay. And maybe we want to change their styles based on their order numbers, right? That's what we want. But first of all, let's try to solve this problem in a traditional way, right? We need to select all the elements we need, right? Let's say we need P's, all the P's, right? And document, query, selector, all, right? Select all the P element. And now what do? We iterate over each of them, okay? Iterate each of them. The it here is each of the elements, right? Each of the elements. And of course, we can print it to confirm it. My memory is pretty bad. Let's see if I'm right? 4 elements, okay? And what we actually want is it inner text or inner HTML. It doesn't matter. To be something, right? Let's say if we want yo here, refresh it. It would be 4 yos, right? But we want it to be dynamic, not static, right? We want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So what do? We use the second parameter, right? Index. For each, we'll pass the second index to us. We don't worry about that. Let's set inner text directly to this dynamic value, index. And that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So let's try it. Refresh, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. But it starts from 0. We want it to start from like 1, right? So plus 1 for each of them. Okay, refresh it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me zoom it. So the half of the problem already solved, and it's pretty easy, right? So another problem is we want to apply styles to them based on their value. Say, if the order number, and that is this, right? We could store it into a variable or a constant. Right now, let's say order equals to this, and inner text equals to order, right? It's the same thing. We want to, if the order number is even number, we want it to be like a red color. Else, leave it alone, or else make it a blue text, whatever, right? That's what we want. And how do we do it? Of course, we need a condition, right? If order is even number, then we do something, right? We apply styles. So what we need to do is detect the order is even or not, right? So we let order divide to see if it has I don't know the English word of this operator. Let me check it out. Surplus. If the result surplus is 0, and that means it is an even number, right? So we can apply styles to it. Let's say style, let's make font color equals to, let's say, red. It's too harsh. Let's call it tomato. Okay, tomato. Let's try it. Refresh it. Cool. And everything works the way we expected, right? So this is the traditional way we solve this problem. And now we use D3 to solve this problem. Let's open this dependency, D3. And there's no difference. We still need to select all the elements and deal with the selection, right? So we select D3, select all, and pass the selector P, paragraph, right? And that's the element selector. You can pass, maybe it's a class. Let's say the class is maybe alert, whatever, okay? Or you can call it root. Maybe you want all the paragraph elements under the root element. It's just like jQuery. So now we only need P, and D3 will select all the P elements on the page, right? And you're dealing with the selection. Selection is a group of elements, right? You can deal it in a batch mode, okay? So let's say we want to set content for each of them, okay? Let's say text, use this text method, or HTML, And now we only need text. Text is enough in this situation. So we can set a static value, just like before. We could say yo, and that means set all the selections content to yo. Okay, let's try it. Refresh. 4 yos, right? And if you say 1, you can type 1 in, and there are 4 ones, right? So what we want is a dynamic thing. And whenever you need a dynamic content, you need a function in D3. So we pass a function, and D3's text method will accept it. It will give us 2 arguments to work with. The first one is data, and second one is index. Data is useless for now. We'll cover that later. But this index, it's pretty familiar, right? The same thing, right? There's 2 index. So what we want to do is return this index plus 1, just like here, right? Okay, let's refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, right? And of course, you could use the shortcut form. It's the new syntax in ES6, right? And that means return index plus 1. And now we can apply style. Just use the style method function. Basically the same thing. The first one is what style property you want to apply. And we want to apply color, just like here, right? Color. And the second one is what color do you want to apply, right? If we make it static, let's say tomato, and it will make all the selection. I mean 4 paragraphs color to tomato, right? Let's see, right? 4 tomato text. So again, we want it to be dynamic, right? So let's say data and the index, same pattern, and we return. And here's a condition. Let's say let me break it down. Let's use a if condition. If index plus 1, well, I think I should store it for clarity, and it's more clear. Let's say if order divided to surplus 0, and that means this order number is even number, right? So we only return tomato in this circumstances, in this condition, right? So let's try it, refresh it. And that's exactly the same thing with previous version, with this traditional version, right? But you can see the code style, the syntax is better, right? And it's easier to understand. It's easier to maintain because we can deal things in batch mode. And it's just a convenient utility, right? It's not even the most powerful part of D3. So stay tuned.